Welcome to the Movie Hits channel. Today I'm going to tell you about the movie American Assassin, released in the year 2017. Sit back and we'll get started. The movie begins with two couples in love. Mitch and his girlfriend Katrina are vacationing on the beach. He takes out a ring and proposes marriage right in the sea, and she happily agrees to marry him. Mitch proposes to celebrate the engagement and goes to the bar for cocktails. But suddenly a group of armed terrorists land on the beach and start shooting at everyone. Mitch gets wounded, but despite this, he still runs to his girlfriend. Unfortunately, he is not in time, and the leader of the gang named Al-Mansour shoots Katrina in front of her boyfriend, and this incident changed Mitch's life forever. A year and a half later, Mitch lives alone and is constantly reminded of Katrina. He works out every day at the gym, honing his fighting skills, shooting skills, and metal knives in a terrorist photo. He has a goal: find the leader of this gang and get revenge on him. The guy manages to get a hold of Mansoura and lets them know he wants to join their gang. What Mitch doesn't know, however, is that he's being watched by CIA agents. By installing hidden cameras, they hope to use Mitch's help to find the terrorist group. After some time, Mansour invites Mitch to them to test the guy for honesty and trust. When Mitch comes to the specified place, they search him, put a bag over his head, and take him to Mansour. The guy is tied to a chair, and Mansour's gang leader starts asking questions to test his trustworthiness. Mitch almost frees his hands with a discreetly carried blade, but a SWAT team bursts into the building and shoots all the gangsters. Mitch starts stabbing the already dead terrorist with the knife, because he never got his revenge. When interrogated by the CIA, Mitch confesses that he wanted to attack the terrorists alone. He is interrogated and checked for a month, and then the deputy director of the CIA, Irene Kennedy, offers him to undergo special training in the CIA to become a professional in the fight against evil. She evaluated the guy's skills and believes that such type of people are suitable for the fulfillment of especially difficult tasks in the CIA. She persuades the CIA director Stansfield to send Mitch for training in the secret elite unit Orion. Irene personally accompanies the newcomer to the head of the special unit, Stan Hurley. He has studied Mitch's case in advance and is aware that he may be in trouble. Stan immediately intimidates the rookie as the training program is very hard and few people pass. He takes over Mitch's training and teaches him how to kill, hide, locate, and disarm enemies. He also explains to the men that behind enemy lines they will have no support and every wrong move will cost them their lives. Stansfield and Irene then meet with Iranian Defense Minister Baraz and Chief of Staff Rostami to discuss the theft of 15 kilograms of weapons-grade plutonium that could be used to make a bomb, but the Iranian authorities deny everything. Meanwhile, Stan continues to train his fighters, quickly identifying and eliminating targets in the crowd in virtual reality, while keeping civilians out of harm's way. He provokes Mitch when he sees that his targets include his girlfriend's killer. Stan repeatedly shows him Mansoura, even though he is not the guy's target, and Mitch buys into the ruse, shooting the terrorist nonstop and getting electrocuted. On a Warsaw street in a car van, a man nicknamed Ghost is going to buy weapons-grade plutonium. However, the deal is disrupted when two policemen decide to check the suspicious van. The guy has to kill the cops and then the plutonium sellers. He manages to escape, but his face is caught on security cameras. Later in the news, Stan sees what happened in Warsaw and recognizes in the criminal his former student, who calls himself Ghost. Stan immediately informs Irene, as they thought he was dead. Ghost was Stan's former student who got out of control and had to be left to die, but there was no confirmation that he was dead. Later, Irene learns that a certain Sharif has recently acquired the nuclear initiator needed to build a bomb, and at the same time Ghost is stealing plutonium. The CIA believes that these two intend to meet because the Ghost needs this initiator. Irene wants to derail the deal and decides to send Mitch and Victor with Stan to Istanbul, where according to the information a plutonium deal is to take place. There they are to be met by a local CIA agent named Anika. On the way, Stan tells them that Sharif is an illegal arms dealer and their goal is to capture Ghost and Sharif. Mitch and Anika are supposed to keep an eye on the situation and not interfere, but Mitch decides to act on his own. When he runs into a deputy on the road, he steals his cell phone, and from the data on the phone, they find out where Sharif will be meeting Ghost. While Mitch and Anika observe the situation, Victor and Stan begin to act. Upon receiving the nuclear initiator, Ghost quickly reveals Victor and doesn't hesitate to kill him. A commotion begins, and he kills 2 more people, allowing Sharif to escape. Stan orders an end to the operation, but Mitch disobeys the order and chases after Sharif. Taking assistant hostage, he orders him to follow Sharif, and then Mitch sneaks into his home. Sharif begs to be spared, but furious, Mitch kills him, pretending him to be Mansoor, and takes his laptop. Stan reprimands Mitch for disobeying orders and wants to throw him out of the squad, but Irene insists that he stay, saying that Mitch eliminated a dangerous criminal and took the laptop with important information. Meanwhile, Ghost in his hideout meets with Iranian Minister Baraz. The minister wants to buy a bomb from the guy in order to launch a nuclear strike against Israel. The 3 track down the physicist they need and follow him to the hotel, then occupy a neighboring room and use a cable with a camera on it to follow him, while Stan stays outside. Ghost quickly discovers the agents and breaks into the room with his men. Mitch and Anika have been out of contact with Stan for several minutes, and he senses something amiss. Stan comes to the rescue and saves his guys. The 3 of them kill all the fighters and capture the scientist, but Ghost manages to escape again, and they learn from the physicist that the nuclear bomb is almost ready. After that, Mitch and Anika go to the hotel where the girl helps the guy to treat his wounds. In the conversation, Anika accidentally gives herself away by talking about the ghost, though he never mentioned the enemy's nickname in front of her. Mitch attacks the girl and nearly drowns her in the bathtub, forcing her to admit she's an agent. Stan beats the name of her handler out of her and tells her it's his friend Ashani, an Iranian intelligence officer. Stan meets with his friend and learns that Anika works for Iranian intelligence. Ashani tells him that Minister Baraz is going to buy a nuke from Ghost to use for his own dirty purposes, and they must prevent the nuke from exploding. At that moment, Ghost is there and kills Ashani with 1 shot from a sniper rifle, and then wounds Stan and takes him prisoner. The CIA quickly learns that Ashani has been killed. Mitch intends to go to his rescue, but Irene is against it, saying that their main goal is to find and defuse the bomb. However, Mitch does not agree with this decision and is not going to leave Stan in the captivity of the Phantom. He decides to follow Anika and crashes into the CIA agent's car, knocking them out in the hope that Anika will bring him to the Phantom's hideout. After releasing Anika, he says that her handler has been killed and he needs her help to prevent the nuclear bomb from going off. Anika blames the Iranian authorities for everything. She tells him that Ashani was her uncle and that her father and brother died fighting Baraz and the Rostami. Meanwhile, in his hideout, Ghost tortures Stan and accuses him of abandoning him on a mission and leaving him for dead. However, Stan couldn't sacrifice all his fighters for one. Ghost tortures Stan to find out where his team is, but the man keeps his mouth shut. The Ghost gets the fuse from Baraz and shoots him and his men, to whom he had no intention of giving the bomb. He then triggers the fuse to activate the weapon. He was building the bomb for himself to teach the American government a lesson. After tracking Baraz's cell phone, they find Ghost hideout. When Ghost sets the timer on the bomb, Mitch and Anika enter the lair. They split up as Mitch can't get through the narrow grate. He breaks into the underground corridor and sets off an explosion with his car, which Irene's men notice and immediately fix the explosion site to send a SWAT team there. Mitch finds and frees Stan, killing a couple of fighters, but Anika fails and Ghost takes her hostage. Mitch immediately chases after Ghost, but on the way he sees that he has taken Anika hostage. Desperate for life, Anika stops Ghost from killing her. The girl grabs a gun and shoots herself, but the Ghost manages to escape again. Her entire family is dead, and she will do anything to ensure that those responsible are punished. The Ghost manages to get on a boat with a nuclear bomb. He wants to take the bomb to the sea where the American Navy exercises are taking place. At the last moment, Mitch manages to jump on the boat and runs into the Ghost. The Ghost, with a knife in his hands, declares that the explosion cannot be prevented. Meanwhile, Stan and Irene find out that the Ghost has aimed the boat at the 6th Fleet and intends to destroy it. Mitch manages to kill the Phantom by stabbing him in the throat, but the bomb is about to go off and he decides to take it far away. At this time, Stan flies closer to Mitch and orders him to throw the bomb into the water to minimize the effects of the explosion. Stan manages to pick up Mitch a couple minutes before the explosion, and they manage to fly away from the bomb. The shockwave from the explosion raises a huge wave. Luckily, the ships take little damage. Mitch follows Stan's orders, and the bomb does little damage. A short time later, Irene arrives at the hospital to visit Stan. On the news, they hear General Rostami claim that the nuclear explosion was carried out by CIA mercenaries. After the statement, the general and his guards go into the elevator where they are waiting for him. It turns out that Mitch is already there, and finally decides to finish off the whole group. This is where the movie ends. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and put a bell so you don't miss the videos I add. See you soon, and goodbye everyone.